everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I am at my house. We're gonna do an in the bag, mid-season in the bag, because over the past 8 days it's done nothing but rain, and with me and my wife's work schedule I haven't really had a chance to go out and play anyway. Which kind of is what it is. But my bag hasn't really changed all that much, but I do feel pretty confident in where it's at right now. And I will go ahead as we're going through and kind of explain what's doing well, what's not doing well, what's in danger of coming in and out, all that good stuff as we go through. I also have a disc here that I want to try that's not currently in the bag because I don't want to throw it in there before I've thrown it. Because by the time you guys get this, I'll be playing in the Patriot Memorial, and I don't want to throw anything that I'm not familiar with. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the putters first. Still putting with War Spears. Just the Lunar War Spear. I mean, it's a good putter. I've been putting it with it for a while. I will be honest, I am looking to try a new putter. And they're en route to me right now in the mail, but Lunar War Spears are just fine for right now, but I'm starting to realize that I like it more as a throwing putter than a putting putter. So, especially with me changing up my putting stance a little bit, but still War Spears for right now. Next we've got a Kevin Fodry Cash, one of the best discs in my bag, super reliable, overstable, 3302, you guys know the flight numbers. Don't really throw it on forehand very much. Don't really have to throw it on backhand most shots. But it's a great disc. It does the exact same thing every time. I have a dime, which is this is a hard plastic dime. Just a little less stable than the Cash. Goes a little straighter. I can get some turn out of this. I can get some turn out of the Cash too. I kind of have to flex it. This I can turn just by throwing it hard. But yeah, the Hooligan disc dime, hard plastic, it's a pretty good disc. Good throwing putter. Used to putt with them, don't anymore. And then last but not least, I have a koi. Everybody knows what the koi's for. Is koi's for throw it and sit. The problem that I'm having with the koi is there's been times where I want to putt. I just don't feel comfortable putting knowing the possibility of a rollaway. But I also am not good at putting with this. I'm good at approaches with this, but putting is just not good. So the putters, I mentioned before that I'm looking to try. I've got some Lunar Warlocks on the way, and then a 7S Warlock on the way, which is supposed to be similar to the koi. And I want to give that a try, so that way, if I'm throwing the 7S Warlock, it's the same feel as my normal putters, where these are completely different. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the mid-ranges. My mid-range lineup has gotten a little bit more detailed since the last time I did this. I don't think I only had 2. Now I have 5. So obviously still got the Flip, one of the most underrated discs in my bag. Super reliable, does the same thing every time as well. Just a hyzer Flip, flies fairly straight. It's a good disc. I love throwing it. It goes forever too. The glide should be a 7 because this thing flies forever. My farthest throwing mid-range by far. Next, I have a Hole 13 Companion. This disc is got a very specific use in my bag. I throw it when the Cash is just not enough. If I need something that's going to fly a little bit more, a little bit farther than the Cash, but still going to give it that reliable, overstable finish. This is what I'm throwing. This is a great disc. This is also super reliable as well, and I love throwing it. Next, I have the rope. I know the flight. This is actually an X out. Rope is great. Rope's good. Go get a rope. For guys like me who their backhand power just isn't all that great, it flies fairly stable, like a 5.501. I can't really get all that much turn out of it, but if you throw hard, it'll fly 5.5 -1 one. This also has a lot of glide too. It goes forever. And it's another step up from the companion and the cash. So cash, companion, rope when it comes to distances. And they all pretty much do the same thing for my backhand. So got the rope. Next I have the Goliath Discs Samson. This one in particular came in the Gateway Premier Plus box that I ordered recently. The flight numbers on this say 6304. The 04 part is 100% correct. I don't know if I would call it a 6-speed, maybe a 5-speed, but super overstable, super reliable. This is in a different plastic than I had it in last time, and you can see this one's got a little bit more dome to it, so I'm interested to see how it flies. But I'm comfortable enough with the Samson. I have enough throws with the Samson. I feel confident to be able to put this in the bag. I made the joke before that this is the only reason why I'm 860 rated before, and then I lost my last Samson and I continue to play well, so maybe not, but it's a great disc. Yeah, Samson. And then my last mid-range is the Hole 13 Astray. These are another overstable 5-speed. When I lost my Samson at the Blue Ridge Championships, this was in my bag, and it became the workhorse that the Samson was. They're very similar. I like this better on backhand than the Samson. I don't like throwing the Samson on backhand. This I can kind of throw on backhand, and it's going to do what it's supposed to do. I had a white one in the bag, but that thing has just been beat up by trees and stuff. It doesn't fly to what it used to. It's still overstable, but I wanted to go ahead and put this new one in here and give it a run. So another disc, the Hole 13 Astray, that I have a bunch of throws with, and I feel confident putting a new version in the bag and not feel like I'm losing anything. All right, we will move on to the fairway drivers. All right, so I only have 4 fairway drivers. I will start with, I have 2 7-speeds and 2 9-speeds. I'll start with the 7-speeds first, go least stable to most stable. So right first I have a Hole 13 Adventurer. This is a glow plastic Adventurer. These things go so far. They hyzer flip, they fly so straight. You can also put it on a turnover and it's gonna hold the turnover line. This is a bomber disc and it's a 7-speed. And it's probably the farthest flying disc in my bag, if I'm being honest with you. I love this. Go to Hole 13 and grab one. They're huge. This is a huge addition to my bag. There's no chance of leaving. This is a great disc. Next, we have the Gateway Blaze. This is the old Blaze before they retooled it. Overstable 7-speed. This has become a like a workhorse almost in my bag, because my backhand, I think 7-speed is about my max right now, since I'm still kind of working on it. So if I need something to fly a little bit overstable from a backhand that needs to go farther than the rope, it goes to this, and you can throw it flat and it's going to push a little farther straight, and then have that overstable finish. I can also throw this on forehand. I don't really like to, just because I have other discs for that, but this is a great disc, and I've enjoyed having it in the bag a lot. I throw it a bunch. And to my 9-speeds, I have this Hooligan thread Primo plastic. Just a straight 9-speed. I don't throw it backhand because it's a little too fast for my backhand, and it flies more like a overstable 9-speed for my backhand, like a cap wrap almost. But regardless, it is fairly, these things, the flight numbers are a little deceiving. They're fairly overstable. I could throw this thing on forehand, really yam on it, and it's going to fight out of it. It's going to turn a little bit, and it's going to fly a little bit straighter and a little bit farther than your typical 9-speed. But these things are great. I love the thread very much, and it's complements very well to the next disc I'm about to show you, which is a Gateway X Out Factory Second Blade NXT Glow plastic. This is just an overstable 9-speed, like cap wrap, but this thing, for some reason, is the dumpiest blade I've ever had in my entire life. Shout out shout out to Jeremy for this disc. Yeah. I'll put his, I can't remember his company name off the top of my head. I know it's awful. I'll put his company right here. Go check them out. He sells a lot of these split die things on Facebook, and I reached out to him. He sent me this, and this has been, again, the most overstable blade I've ever got my hands on. And I'm talking about even before, like I have Kevin Fodry blades. I've got the Hyper Diamonds. Nope, this takes the cake by far. This is a cap wrap disguised as a blade. So, but yeah, those are my 9-speeds, and let's go ahead and move on to my distance drivers and my tomahawk discs. I'll do those in the same portion. So for distance drivers, I'm gonna start with the two that I throw forehand, and one I can throw backhand, but I don't often. And then we'll move on to the tomahawk stuff. So first is a Hole 13 Adventurer. It's a flippy 12-speed, 12, 5, -1, 2. Flies true to the numbers. I can throw it on forehand, and it's going to flip up and turn forever, and then it's going to fade. This also goes extremely far, and if I get the right angle on it, I can throw it upwards of 370, give or take, just from field work and throwing it. But it's hard to do because I'm still, again, title of this video, you've seen it, MA3. So, but this is a very, 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 very good disc. Go get you one. They're really good. And then next things, I have a Gateway Spell. Those are the only two distance drivers that I bag for forehands. Gateway Spell 12503. Flight numbers, I think this is closer to a -13 than a 03. Because whenever I throw it, I'm gonna get turn out of it, and it's gonna fade a lot faster than the Wanderlust will, but it will fly true every time. It does the same thing every time. So Gateway Spell, this is probably the main forehand distance driver I'm pulling out of the bag, just because with that overstability, it fights wind really well, whereas the Wanderlust can kind of get bodied a little bit. But the Gateway Spell is a very good distance driver and one of my favorite. Next, we'll go ahead and get into the Tomahawk Thumber discs that I have in the bag. Got 4. Couple, and this is another part that may be subject to change. So first, I have this Hooligan Vibe. It is super old, super beat to crap, as you can see. It's just seen its wear and tear. This is one of the longest standing discs in my bag. It's just something that if I'm in trouble or if I don't trust the forehand or backhand on the approach, just give it a little flick and it's gonna pan and fall, and doesn't go very far, maybe 150, 175 feet. Nothing over 200. I'm not throwing this thing on anything over 200. And it's going to do, it's gonna land near the basket. It's not gonna get up and roll. Love this disc, very important. Next, I have another really old disc. This is the old Hooligan Yeet. This is the Lone Star version when they were with Lone Star. I believe this is the Alpha Plastic. This one's also beat to crap. It's another super long standing disc in my bag. I used to be able to get it up to about 280. Now it's a 200 to 250 disc. Same thing as the Vibe, just a little bit more push to it, a little bit more overstability to it. Another disc that comes out of my bag very often. A fairly new addition, relatively new addition. I don't know if you guys saw this last time, but this is another Yeet. This is the Drew Gibson Alpha Yeet. I rubbed off the stamp and dyed it. I wanted to go with like a Lakers, like purple and yellow kind of thing, but the purple kind of overtook the yellow and turned into this brownish color. So, but it's fairly new. It does what the Yeet I just talked about used to do, 280, 250 to 280. Fairly overstable. It's just I really hate throwing it in the woods by myself because I'm not gonna find it. But if it lands bottom up, you see it's yellow, so pretty easy to find. If it lands face down, almost impossible to find. But again, I have another one that I haven't dyed if I ever do lose this one, so that will replace that. But so far, I haven't lost it yet. Just does what they used to do when it was new. And then the last disc right here that I have in the bag is I have a Gateway Test Flight Javelin NXT plastic split die. The Javelin is a disc that I've recently added to my bag that has been a really, really good tomahawk disc for me. I can throw the crap out of this thing and it's gonna go 300, 310, 330. And it's gonna do the same thing. It's not gonna turn and burn super quick like some of the other discs that I've had in this slot. I used to have the Glow Kevin Fodry stamped Javelin in the bag. I threw that a lot out there at Lake Marshall, but since having this one, I just tossed this one in and took that one out and used the other one as a spare. So this Javelin has been relatively new, but it's been doing good work for me. So the Jake Wolf Nuke OS slot from last year. And that is it for everything that's currently in my bag. This is a disc that I'm looking to try. I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you. I have it here. Is a Gateway Scream. It's supposed to be, look at that. That's so weird. It's supposed to be a overstable, like super overstable driver, and it feels like a 13 speed maybe. And I want to try it on tomahawk. As you can see, there's no speed demon in the bag anymore. It's because I don't really need it. I'll just throw the Javelin. It's not going to go as far, but it's still going to do what the speed demon did, so it's really not that big of a deal. But I do want to try this out. I do want to see what this does. So this also came in the Premier Plus box from Gateway, and I'm super excited to try it. And I already told you guys about the Warlocks and the 7S Warlock that are on the way in the mail that I want to try too. Other than that, I think pretty much everything's locked in pretty well. If I do end up changing, switching over to the Warlocks to putt with, I have a War Spear in the van that I'll probably switch it out with, like put the War Spear down in there as a throwing putter as well, to kind of complement off of the cash and the dime, because I don't throw the dime forehand, and if I do run into some situations where I want to, I just don't. I'll just throw the Astray or the Samson instead. But if it comes down to it that I like the Warlocks better, I'll toss that in there, and that'll be another throwing putter, and then we'll see what the Scream does. So, but yeah, that's gonna do it for this week's video. I'm sorry guys, I couldn't get out and play. It's just been kind of rough here recently at the Collins household. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed that, like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell. I post every Friday. You don't miss next week's post. Next week, you guys will have the Patriot Memorial. You'll have something in between the Patriot Memorial and the next tournament I play in. And after the Patriot Memorial, I go to Tennessee States. So, yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching, and we'll see you next Friday.